Guess who's coming to dinner? Happy Friday. Guess who's coming to dinner? Live and in living color. Right here in the Ville. How's everybody? Hope everybody had a good week. You know, it's almost gotten so I don't even want to watch the news on TV anymore because it's just heartbreaking. So I won't even go there because I'm excited about something and I don't want to put my energy down. You know what I'm saying? I got to keep my energy up because I've got a very energetic young lady here with me today that I had the privilege of meeting. Well, I guess it's been a week now because last Friday this time, or a little earlier, I attended a graduation. I was invited to be a guest at the graduation for the program RISE, RISE, RISE. That's one of those fabulous new programs that Goodwill, yes, Goodwill is more than just a store. It's a resource. We've got resources for us. So, on that note, let me introduce to some and present to others my guest for the day, Miss Tina Ashby. Hi, darling.
Hello, Miss Janice. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on today. It
Well,
really means a lot. Thank you.
I'm so glad to have you because, you know, you have been a ray of sunshine into my life. You just make my heart feel good because, you know, a lot of people in our city need a lot of help, you know, and it's something, you know, I just feel like I've asked, you know, the Lord to guide my steps, you know, and so my husband just says, well, he led us here, so we just keep following what he wants us to do. So then a mutual friend of ours, Miss Ruby Hyde, introduced, well, you saw me interviewing Miss Ruby a few weeks ago.
Yes, ma'am.
And you made comment, and Ruby said, well, she wants to talk to you. She wants you to come to the graduation. She's inviting you. And then you called me, and we had such wonderful conversation. It was like we've been knowing each other forever.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Miss Tina, tell us about the program that you are the coordinator for, RISE, and do the letters stand for something in particular?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. RISE stands for Reintegrating Individuals Successfully Every Day. RISE is a 2-week work readiness training program that we do at Goodwill Industries of Kentucky all across the state. So that's what we do. We put people into jobs and get them ready for employment.
Okay. Is there a requirement? What makes you eligible for this program?
In order to get into the program, you have to go through our Soft Skills Academy at Goodwill. And Soft Skills Academy is a 3-day training, and we go over 6 modules. Those modules are conflict resolution, self-presentation, attitude, dependability, safety, and team building. So we talk those core values at Goodwill, those modules, just to that's like a refresher to get ready, get back into the workforce.
So is there an age limit? Tell me most of the people that, what's going on with the people that this program has been attracting?
Well, the program is open to the community, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And like I said, we are across the state, here in Louisville, Kentucky, Lexington, Pikeville, Bowling Green, Somerset, Kentucky. And it's any individual that wants to get back into the workforce. If you've been in addiction, you're welcome. If you're just looking for a hand up, looking for a better job opportunity, you're welcome. incarcerated, coming recently out of incarceration, you're welcome. So the program is very broad. We want to help people break down barriers. That's what we do.
I'm gonna tell you that Goodwill has just the name. You know, we talked about that. Goodwill. What more? I mean, all of the programs and the things that are coming on board for our community, and especially some of the programs for our youth now, because this program has no age restrictions, right?
Well, the RISE program is anywhere from 18, is 18 and above, but we do have some new youth programs, and I think you're going to have one of my coworkers on in a couple of weeks.
Right.
About some of those new youth programs that we have. So we have a program called Ignite, and that program is for 18 to 24-year-olds. And then another program that we have is for 16 to 24-year-olds. So we have programming for everyone, basically.
So, you know, because this, I'm gonna let my audience know for the next this program and 2 more to follow. It's all about goodwill.
Yes.
You know, because I want to blow goodwill up on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, because, you know, we need to have some positive experiences in our community and some positive programs to help uplift our community, because, you know, our community is is being traumatized.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
And we need to try to come out of the trauma. And the kids are going to be getting out of school next week, right? So some of them are wondering, so what am I going to do for the summer? You know, so you know, we've got some youth who are proactive. We've got some youth who have been out of school for a minute, maybe are not employed. You know, sometimes people just need a boost. Now they need a boost, but they, you know, we have to give them a boost so we can set them on the right path.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, so it sounds like, well, just let me just interject. Sitting there at that graduation, I was just floored. I was overcome. Every 5 minutes I was crying and wiping the tears, you know, hearing the stories and the struggle and how they feel like they, you know, it's like rise, like the phoenix rising. I know that's kind of where you got some of that. The phoenix rising, and they just seem so hopeful, you know, even during a period when there doesn't seem like there's a lot of hope, you know. How do you think the program has shown them, has made them feel so hopeful? Tell me some of the things that you think that you all do. I love the storyboard.
Yes.
So tell me some of the things that you do in RISE to get them ready.
Okay, well, first, one of the most powerful things about RISE to me that I'm so proud of is the community partnership. We understand at Goodwill that without our community partners, we couldn't put on the program that we do, nor could we provide the services that we provide. We partner with Republic Bank, University of Kentucky, Prize and Financial Foundations. We have a program called Advancing Cities. So we just try to partner with organizations that we can introduce various resources to our participants so that they can feel empowered and know. Guess what? You have barriers, then we have organizations and resources that work right alongside us to help you break down some of those barriers. Because one thing that we found in this 2-week training is a lot of times it's not just about a job, right? I tell the students all the time, we can give you the best job in the world, but if you're not ready for that opportunity, then you're going to mess that opportunity up. So could get the best job in the world, work 2 weeks, and then you're done. So we look at it as a holistic approach. And we talk about health and nutrition. We talk about communication skills. talk about just all of those things on a broad platform, just to let them participants know basically that they have the support. And guess what? No matter what you've been through, you can make it. So we're proud of that.
You know, that saying that a lot of people have been using recently, you don't look like what you've been through.
Yes, absolutely. Ain't that thank God none of us do.
Hello.
That's the great news.
Yeah, that is wonderful news. And I looked at the students, the Louisville students that were there for the graduation, and I listened to them express themselves, and you could just feel the enthusiasm. You know, and I'm sitting there with tears just running down my face, because I was so happy for them. And because you remember you asked me to say something, and I said, no, you know, I'd say something next time. But when you got finished with your graduation and it said, did anybody want to say something? I couldn't wait to, you know, for you to ask me, let me say something. I'm saying to them, you know, just to say, because they just needed some more. I wanted to give them some more motivation. You know, just look at where you are now from where you were 2 weeks ago.
Right.
You know, and ain't God good?
All the time. Yes.
You know, and the one thing I think that I mentioned to you is that on each of their storyboards, they had pictures of heaven. You know, reaching up to the Lord, that they had found Christ. You know, and I'm saying to myself, well, are they teaching a little bit? They got a little bit of religious teachings over here, or they just have they have surrendered.
Let me share a little bit also, Miss Janice, about the vision board project.
Yes.
We do a vision board project in the RISE training. So obviously before COVID-19, we used to have in-person classes. And I'm also proud to say that before pre-COVID-19 rather, we did those in-person classes, and our program was not statewide. It was just here in Louisville, Kentucky. So what we have to do is to overcome some barriers.
Right.
I loved one of the presenters that I had early on, that she did a presentation, and she talked about moving from adversity to advantage. So we were able to, at Goodwill, able to overcome that adversity through COVID-19 and take our RISE program virtually, along with our Soft Skills Academy, those classes virtually. But before then, we did those vision boards in class, and we did it the old school way with the poster boards and where you cut out magazines and so on and so forth. So we had not our participants have to learn new skills. We had to learn new skills. So they do a digital vision board, and they talk about their past, present, and future.
Okay.
So those stories that you heard were some of our participants sharing their life stories in the past, maybe those obstacles, maybe traumatic experiences, things that they had to overcome in life, in their childhood, be it their childhood,
right,
adulthood. And then we move, we don't stay in the past, because you know you can't dwell in the past.
No.
And you have to be able to look at your past and look at some of those things, because a lot of times what we do is we take our experiences, and I always say we sweep them under the rug,
right.
or we those traumatic experiences so far back in our mind, and we want to put a mask on, or a facade out there, and don't want people to see us. But you have to be able to recognize some of those things, right? And tell yourself the truth about yourself. So we revisit the past for a little bit, and then in the board project, our participants talk about their present experiences. And of course, that's the RISE training and all of the various community partners and the resources that they receive, and just their current experiences. Maybe some of our participants may be in sober living homes, maybe maybe even have some homeless participants. But we connect those individuals through resources at Goodwill. Now we're proud of the housing program that we have. We just have an array of services. So they're introduced to all of these things, these services that they didn't know were there to help them break down those barriers. And then in that vision board project, we move from past to the present situation. Then we talk about the future, where we want to see ourselves.
Right.
6 months from now, a year from now. And so those are the stories that you was able to witness when you came up to the classroom. And people all across the state of Kentucky Zoom into the program. And so that's why I'm so excited to have connected with you so that we can get the word out in the community about the great work we're doing at Goodwill. We want to share that Zoom meeting link because I want to see us continue to spread love all across the state of Kentucky and continue to empower citizens in our neighborhoods and communities, because that's how we're going to create positive change.
Miss Tina, do you see a chat box where you can send me the link? You want to send me the link? I can put it up on the screen.
Let me see for the next graduation, and I have my notes here. Look, I've calmed down a little bit. I was but you are such a joy and an inspiration. Like I told you before, both you and Miss Ruby Hyde, I love you both. Just thank you so much for your service and your the heart that you have for the community, because it's relationships like these that we need to keep building and to at Goodwill, we say we lend a hand up and not a handout. And so we keep doing that for one another. So the next RISE graduation is going to be on June the 4th. And so what I'm going to do is go to my email and see if I can't copy that link and put it in this chat box. And
okay, we both learning how to do some stuff. So, people just work with us. They just sitting there watching and listening. So,
well, it's a pleasure. Let me see.
So what am I supposed to do? Oops.
And
okay. Scam.
Link.
Comments. There. Do you see the chat box?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I
so you're
see
putting it in there. Okay.
I'm looking for the graduation link.
Okay.
And I paste it in there. And that graduation, here it is. That graduation starts at 12 noon. And we would just love for you guys to click in and join us and see what it is that we're talking about that we do in the RISE program. It would be an honor to have you all.
And you all, Goodwill has a website too, doesn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
And all the programs are kind of listed on that website?
Absolutely.
Okay, so
yes, ma'am.
While we're doing that, I'm going to do, so the Goodwill website is what? www. Goodwill KY.
Yes, I'm going to put that goodwillky.org.
.org.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
I'm gonna run that across the bottom of the screen so people can see it. I'm going to turn this telephone down and off. Excuse me, Miss Tina.
Take your time. You're fine.
So
here.
And so I want to show that.
There, I have placed that Zoom meeting link.
Is that right? www.goodwillky.org.
Yes, it's goodwillky.org. Yes, ma'am.
Gotcha. So, for those people watching the show, if you have relatives, if you have children, or if you have relatives, sisters, brothers, cousins, best friends that are in need of some services to help lift them up, to help get them on their feet, Goodwill Goodwill is doing good work. And all you have to do is go to their website and see all the programs that they're offering the community. It's just amazing to me. Sometimes the African American community does not take advantage of programming. I'm just going to say that.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I think that this is something, we know the good things are going to be happening down in the West with the new building, right?
Yes, ma'am. And
But
I'm
see, some
listening to you,
go on.
Miss Janice. Excuse
Uh-huh.
me. But I just want to make sure. I don't know why that date doesn't look right. And forgive me, you guys. Be patient with me. Sure that I get the right meeting link while I have this opportunity in the chat for
Oh,
that
so it does
graduation.
say January 29th.
I know, and that's just isn't that you ain't that how the enemy works? But you know what?
Okay, well, just take that one down and find the right one, and we'll
I
keep
am.
talking. We'll keep
Yes,
talking.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'll fill up some space while you're looking for that. So, what I was saying is, if you have relatives, that, uh, especially when the kids get out of school, they need some programming. They need something to do, because I think some of the reasons that we have so much violence in our community, that it's um, unorganized chaos. They have too much time on their hands. So when they have programs, and there are some monetary incentives that go along with these programs. Am I
Oh
not
yes.
correct? All
No,
right.
you're absolutely correct. And so for the RISE training program, again, it's a 4-hour training for 2 weeks. We're online for 2 weeks. And
Mm-hmm.
so parents do receive a stipend to be in the classroom. They receive a stipend out of the class. They will receive a refurbished Chromebook.
Mm-hmm.
That training. They will receive a health and nutrition bag, a total of $75, a total in Kroger gift cards. They receive a fitness bag.
Mm-hmm.
They just receive an array of incentives to become RISE graduates. I found it.
And I think, whoever hears this information, see, this is what shows like this are supposed to do. We're supposed to share this information,
Yes.
because here is a program to help us. You remember what I told you, Jerry Maguire, help me, help you, help me, help
Yes.
you, to help me,
Yes,
to
ma'am.
help you. See, if we
Yes,
keep
ma'am.
doing that, and in that circle, over and over, helping each other, then we can make some changes, because we've got an image problem in our community. We got health issues. We got health issues as far as the violence goes, and how it's affecting families, and a lot of families. We've got health issues as far as this is Mental Health Awareness Month, that how COVID has affected us, being confined to our homes, being confined under those masks.
Yes.
We've got all these issues that some people are working with every last one of those issues, and it's traumatic. And
Yes,
sometimes
ma'am.
you just need another resource, and Goodwill is another resource. And for people like you, I felt your participants, your graduates, they were so open with their stories. There was no shame, and everybody was so supportive of each other.
Yes.
It was just a beautiful thing to see. And a lot of times all we hear is the bad. It was so refreshing to me to go somewhere and see the good.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
So I was just totally impressed by everything that Goodwill is doing. And so this is Miss Friday. This Friday we've got Miss Tina. On Monday we're going to have the CEO of External Affairs, Mr. Devon Hope. What?
He's actually the vice president of external affairs. Yes.
Vice President. Okay. Well,
Yes, ma'am.
I
Absolutely.
saw that on LinkedIn, so maybe that's my bad. So you got the right one up here?
I do. Let you guys please forgive me. I always say in the training, sometimes technology doesn't allow us to be great. as great as we would like to be. But
Christina, I'm gonna take the first one down.
yes, delete that first one. And because technology doesn't always allow us
I think you might have to delete it. I can't delete it.
Okay, let me see.
Okay.
I can. Oh, yes, I can delete it.
Okay, good.
I have it highlighted. Isn't that something, that old chat box? You do see the new one in there.
I see the new one. That's why I was saying that if we got rid of
So
the other.
I think okay, hold on. Let me try it one more time. It won't let me remove that. But you guys, please just ignore that first one. And that's on Friday, June the 4th at 12 noon. That's all the information.
Okay, right there. Okay.
Please,
we're just going to leave that up there if they can see that. And what I will do is I will copy that, and it'll be on Jantastic Productions Facebook page. So you can just go there and find the link. And I'll also put it on when I make posts, I repost the live show. I restream it, and I can take it and I can make all this information accessible in a post that I send out to different groups and organizations that are hooked up to the show. But it's just I'm just really excited about the wonderful programs that Goodwill is doing, and I know the city is trying to work with a lot of different organizations to incorporate programming to help uplift our city, to give us a fighting chance to get back to where we were, to be a community that we feel good about living in. We've got a lot of work to do in Louisville, and everybody has to do their part, which means everybody is responsible for themselves and for others. People, I heard them, a lot of you graduates say, speak on their responsibility that they felt to their families. If they had let their families down, how they wanted to, be better parents to their children, make amends to their family. Their behaviors may be off the charts, and then they're trying to get back on track, and how they want to be better individuals, and then want to just let him order their steps.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. People need a lot of help, Miss Janice, and I think ultimately, I think a lot of people want to help. More people want to help than we realize. Some people may not know how to get involved, right? Maybe they're too afraid to get involved, or don't necessarily want to get involved, but they want to say, guess what? How can I give back?
Right.
And so just zooming into the link on June the 4th to learn more about the RISE program. Tell somebody in need about the resources and the opportunities that we have at Goodwill. Putting those people in contact with our organization can really help and give back, because once we empower our family members and help people out in the home, then guess what? Then our neighborhoods will get stronger, our community gets strong, then our states are stronger. And ultimately, we do believe that we can change the world, but it starts with us.
Yes.
Starts within, it starts with our families. And so that's the message that it's a simple message. It's not anything. We don't claim to have reinvented the wheel at Goodwill. Just like talking about those soft skills, those core values, the attitude. Yeah, we've heard about attitude a whole lifetime, but sometimes we need to hit the reset button in our life and say, guess what? We have to realize that sometimes our attitude is the reason why we've lost out on some opportunity.
Right. Because it becomes a barrier.
Yes, it becomes.
Give me the phone number again, Tina.
So I'm gonna put
yes.
Yes, ma'am. It's of course area code 502 585 5221. So if anyone is interested in that Soft Skills Academy training, Then you call that number and our receptionist will take those calls and get you signed up for those classes. You'll have a 1 week class of what we call Good Start. And after that, those career coaches can refer you into the RISE training program.
It's just, I don't know which way to look. It's wonderful. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't, and a lot of people don't think of Goodwill as being a resource center.
Mm-mm.
And you've got a beautiful new resource center there up on, what is that, Campbell and Broadway, right?
909 East Broadway. 909 East Broadway is where we're located. Our education and career center is located at. We do have a store that's on the parking lot side of the building. Ms. A lot of people don't know is close to 90 cents of every dollar that's spent in a Goodwill store goes back into the education and career center services program for training to help pay our career coaches, to help us pay for the trainings and offer an array of the services that we do. So we're connected. We don't just recycle clothing or goods. We recycle individuals, and it actually starts in our stores, and people do not realize that. So
yeah, it was, I mean, the whole other part of Goodwill is new to me.
Yes, ma'am. And a lot of people, that's why this show is so important. And that's why this is, because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know all of the wonderful things. And guess what? This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
That, like you mentioned, our West Louisville project, you can go to our website and look at that. I think that we're looking to open that opportunity campus, I believe, and I don't know, it may be 2022.
What you call it, an opportunity campus?
Yes. That's our opportunity campus in the heart of West Louisville. We're so proud of that. And like I said, this is just the beginning of the work that we're able to do in this community, in this city.
Right.
We have support, our community partners, and we're no longer, I think organizations, the great thing is not working in silos anymore. Like that's what everybody used to kind of be in their little area,
own little space.
But that the great thing that I love about the RISE program is because organizations is actually coming together. We are partnering together and say, guess what? This is what we can do. And we're offering those services in training. And I just gave you, look, I want to use this opportunity while I have
Go ahead on. That's what I want you to do. We said we were going to blow it up today, didn't we?
Yes. And I'm so excited. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of the schedule that we have in the RISE program. So of course, we do the vision board project that we discussed. We have Colonel Mark Spearman that talks to participants about how to adapt to change, because see, that's what we need to learn how to do first, is try to think of some new skills and start thinking outside the box, break down some of those old paradigms or those old mindsets where we put ourselves in a box. So we talk about breaking down those. You mentioned Devon Holt, our Vice President of External Affairs. He does a piece called Finding Success. So we talk to participants about finding success. We have Dress for Success. They're one of our partners. They suit the women here in the Louisville area. So they bring their RV over to the Goodwill building. And so the women get they get a suit, fitted for a suit for employment or interviews. Do applied digital skills, and the applied digital skills portion of the training is once they complete that, the participants again receive that refurbished Chromebook. University of Kentucky is on the schedule for 4 days out of the 2 weeks, and they do the health and nutrition. And again, they get that health and nutrition bag, and they receive that $75 from Goodwill in Kroger gift cards. We partner with Sharney Christian Healthcare. So we're talking about medical, dental, and behavioral health. So if you need help in those areas, guess what? covering that in the RISE program. We're talking about entrepreneurship. You guys know Miss Nashan Trabue. She owns Manhattan on Broadway. Her and a gentleman out of Pikeville. His name is Jeffrey Justice. They do breakout sessions and talk about entrepreneurship. We have HR affiliates, Miss Patricia Turner that works with HR affiliates. She talks to us about how to overcome tough interview questions. So we partner with Richard Breen's law offices. Mr. Breen and his attorneys at his law office talk to us about public speaking and how look, I'm just going on and on. Bank on Louisville, a fine gentleman by the name of Joseph Cecil. He talks to us about the Fresh Start program. We talk about SMART goals, and I'm going to get through here real quick. And again, Republic Bank comes in and talks to the participants about second chance banking, and we open up accounts after graduation if you have interest in those. And again, Cecil through the Fresh Start program if you want to go through a credit union. So that's just a few, to name a few of the things.
Just a few things, other resources that you have.
And the participants are filled up. They get so much information by the end of training. They said, well, Miss Tina, it's like a buffet, of services. And so
absolutely. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
We're excited.
Wow. Look, and you was talking about you didn't think you could fill up couldn't fill up how much time. I said, honey, all we're gonna do is just talk about this. And the more we talk about and the more information that we can share. And guess who's coming to dinner is a show. I started it out. It's a show about the conversation was based on racism and racist policies. Well, these kinds of programs give us a leg up so that we won't be saying cannot say any longer that we don't have any programs that where we can participate or that we know about. See, a lot of times it's that we, the African American community, I'm going to say it, that might say, well, we didn't know about that. So what I'm saying is, oh, yes, you're going to know about it. Because I'm going to, by having you all, that's 3 shows, the last of this month that I am designating to Goodwill. It's Goodwill and it's Good Works. That's where I'm looking at, because I feel, the name is just so uplifting. If you think about, if you take those 2 words that have been put together, the good and the will, and all of that is about the goodwill that can be done in our community to show goodwill, goodwill unto men.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we have to be here for. And that means we have to be here to help one another, so that's why I'm so excited about the program, and I'm going to do my part. I'm going to do whatever you say, Miss Janice. I'm there. So I just wanted to say that you're such a outstanding and your heart's in it. You can tell some people do it. It's a job, but I can tell that your heart is in this.
Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am. Because for me, it means a lot to me. And it was funny when you said you just had tears, your tears filled up at the graduation. My coworkers, they know it's not. Last year in 2020, we did about 29 cohorts. We had 29 classes. We ran close to 200 people through the RISE training in 2020.
Okay.
And here in 2021 is cohort 7, and I don't know if it's been a graduation that I have not shed a tear on as well, because when I look at our students, and not just African American, Caucasian, it doesn't matter. It's bigger than that.
Right.
Is if it's a young man, that's my nephew. If it's an older gentleman, then guess what? That could be my uncle.
Right.
My brother. So we have to. It's so much evil. You talked about goodwill. You said goodwill to mankind. It's so much evil in the world. We've hurt each other long enough. We've held each other back long enough. So just to be able to give someone some inspiration, to give someone some hope, and say, guess what? It doesn't matter what you've been through. You can make it.
Right.
make it. Just because our circumstances look one way today, we know that those circumstances can change in a blink of an eye.
They don't define you.
No. And it just takes somebody like you or somebody like these community partners to say, here, let me help you. And so that's what we're trying. We're trying to, in our motto, we do this in RISE. We spread love all across the state of Kentucky, because that's what we had to do from one another. We got to start first. We got to remember how to love ourselves.
Right.
And then we do that, we can love each other. And that's what you're doing, Miss Janice. Like, we've only been knowing each other. What has it been, 2 weeks?
A week? No, it has not.
And that's crazy.
It was okay. So this today is a week from the graduation, and I talked to you that Monday before. So maybe we're going into 2 weeks, but it seems like you're another one of my nieces.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm not Auntie Mame, I'm Auntie Janice.
Yes, absolutely.
But I'm so honored to meet you, because you're so positive. And you're on the right track, and you're doing God's work. Really, this is nothing but, I said, as long when I feel like the Spirit is moving me which way to go, because Janice can think of 1,000 things to do in the course of a week. Believe me, But I think dealing with Goodwill and whatever it is that I wanna be involved in RISE. I want to share my life experience and my self-confidence that I have in myself, as far as stepping out into the world. Being born and raised in Louisville, Kentucky, you think, well, if Muhammad Ali is a worldwide known figure, then we have that in us. This city has given us that kind of substance. We come from that kind of substance.
Yes.
We've got kind of lost. We're kind of on the wayward side, but I think we're working on the build back. We're working on the build back, because we got to heal from everything that happened last year, from all the racial injustice. We've got to find a way to heal from that. The show, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, was a show to find solutions. Goodwill is another solution.
Yes.
It's another solution for uplifting our community, so that we can, all of those other barriers, those racial policies, those barriers that can all be broken down. So here we are doing what we're supposed to be doing. So hello.
You mentioned Muhammad Ali, and that's what he was about, love.
Right.
That's what when you talk about him, my heart goes out, because I love that. And he loved this community.
Oh, without a doubt.
Love this community, and he believed in it. And like you said, we have it. We have the talent. There's so much talent here. And right. You stole my thunder, because I wanted to tell them that I'm looking forward to adding you to this RISE training schedule, what we talked about in our meeting. So I'm excited to have you, your energy, your passion, for you to share your gifts and talents with these participants. I think it's just going to be an added plus to everything that we offer. I'm looking forward to that. And that's what we're looking to do, is always continue to grow the RISE program. We don't want to stay stagnant. I want to see the RISE program, outside of the borders of Kentucky. Like, we want to build this thing up and move it beyond the borders of Kentucky. I believe it's possible. I believe it in my heart. I just want to do that. But right now we're going to work with what we have. I'm grateful for people like you, for our community partners and our facilitators and our leadership. I have to give a shout out to our leadership that believes in the RISE mission and has that vision to create positive change, because at Goodwill, we believe that together, and that's the key word, Ms. Janice, together we can change lives. We can change lives and communities if we work together and do that. So that's what we do in RISE.
Wow. Makes you want to say, just rise.
Yes.
And I rise up. I don't know all the words. And I rise up.
Come on. Yeah, that's our theme song.
That's
our theme song.
And you should, I mean, just, and you were playing inspirational and motivational music at the graduation, and I was sitting there and I'm listening to the music, and so I'm just engrossed in all of this, not knowing exactly what I'm being exposed to. But when it was over, I knew exactly what I had been exposed to. I had been exposed to a program that is much needed in our community by 18 and over. I
Yes.
mean, grown folks, grown adults that still haven't got it together, that
Right.
need a little backtracking
Yeah.
and revigorating,
Yeah.
and our youth that are out of school so they can find something positive to do with their time and their energy so they can get on the right path, because it's so easy to fall on the wrong side of the path. And once you get in the system, the legal system, it's a hard road to toe.
Mhm.
And you can fall into the legal system in this city by not paying your child support.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a felony. I mean, so somebody that has not robbed anybody or stolen any cars, but didn't pay their child support can end up with a felony. To get a felony off of your record is very difficult,
Yeah.
So um, I have some ideas about, my conversations, because I want to broaden people's, expand their vision into what's possible,
Yes, ma'am.
you
Miss,
know.
when you mentioned that, I just want to say also at Goodwill, we have expungement clinics. So we help, yes, we do expungement clinics. So when you go to our website, goodwillky.org, look on there for the next expungement clinic date. I'm not that good. We do so much.
Okay.
All those dates.
No, I see.
Upcoming expungement clinic, so we can get some of those things expunged off your record, and we pay
Wow.
filing fee. We partner with the Legal Aid Society across the state of Kentucky. So there are opportunities. We have those resources. And like you said, and then some people don't know how to get some of that stuff that can very well wipe off of their records.
That's holding them back, and they don't know they can get rid of it.
Right. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Well, Miss Tina, as they say, you a black girl that rocks.
Oh, thank you so much. And so are you, ma'am. You know you are.
You are, you just make my heart full of joy, because this is what a young, vibrant black woman is built for. You built for this work, because that's what we're built for. We're built to make that village work, and we know how to step out, and we know how to run things.
Well, to God be the glory, because it's not it ain't nothing about me.
Yeah, it's him.
Young girl, a lot our young women and our men. I always say this: I lost a nephew at 19.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody knows me, I know I lost a 19-year-old nephew. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful boy back in 2015. And like I said, our participants that come through, I don't treat them any different than I would see my nephew. So those young people that come through RISE, that's in our Ignite program, they need some support. We didn't have a RISE program when my nephew was around, but so it's about giving back. And those young women, and some of our women my age, older than me, that is just, somewhere along and I've been there in life, we lose our way, still dealing with some things right now. We all are.
Right.
I talked to you earlier about a lot of times in life, we hide behind a mask or a facade of what we want people to see. We want to dress it up and fix it up if we can and put that smile on, but you don't know what's behind people's smile. So if you're listening to us today, just know that no matter what your situation is or what your circumstances are, you can make it. And there's people out here that want to help you reach your goals. Your dreams are not too big. Your goals are not too big. It's never too late. Come and check the RISE program out. We would love to have you. Some ideas to share reach out, because if we work together, we can do some powerful things in this community. And we haven't even scratched we've only scratched the surface of what we can do. But I believe there's many, 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 many more things to come that we can do.
Let me ask you this, Chris. How many years has the RISE program been active?
It's a new program. The
Because
RISE.
you said you started only in Louisville, and now you've outreached into all those other communities around the state.
Yes, ma'am. The RISE program is 2 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we might be 2 years old, going on into our third year. Yeah,
Well,
program.
COVID might have been a blessing in disguise in order for you to have to go virtual to get more people in your classroom.
Who would have ever thought? I mean, who would have ever thought that we, and I tell you, we didn't have a virtual training before COVID. We didn't have virtual trainings.
Right.
So our soft skills facilitators, I love them. Tom Saylor, I'm giving you a shout out, Tom, and Sharon Allgaier. They started doing our soft skills classes on Teams, and they would go into the facilities, because we go to St. Vincent, to the Healing Place,
right.
Pearson, and all of those centers. So they took soft skills in there, and they were doing that virtually on Teams. And I said, wait a minute, we got to get this RISE training, because I remember the day like it was yesterday, Miss Janet. We had to reach out to the class and cancel the class because we had to go home when we found out this pandemic, this COVID stuff.
Right.
So we were sitting at home, and I'm thinking, Lord, what are we gonna? And then I'm like, we got to make this RISE training virtual. And believe me, he will use the least of us, because I never didn't know a thing about a virtual training. We didn't. And I love my director, Mr. Dennis Ritchie. So he got the IT. We had a meeting, and we was like, well, what are we gonna do? What do you want to do? And so then that's when we got a Zoom account, and shout out to those Zoom people, and so out to the community partners, and told them, because they were at home too,
Yeah.
Are you willing to teach virtual? And we stepped out on faith, and look what's happened at the end of the journey. So it's just been like,
it's been beautiful. It's been absolutely beautiful, much needed, so organized. You're so on point with what you're providing, the motivation, the incentive, they get the buffet. Come to the buffet at the Goodwill. Hello.
Yes,
I want to say, Miss Tina, I thank you so much. And I've fallen in love with you.
Oh,
and because I just think I admire you. I admire the work that you're doing, because you're so entrenched in it, and it's real. Your mask is off. That a lot of people fake it till they make it. And sometimes you do have to fake it till you make it, but now you don't have to fake it anymore. You can just get it together and go on about your life with purpose, intentionally. That word is one of my words for the year, that we do everything intentionally. Intentionally. I intentionally get up so I can go to this program, so I can better myself.
Yes, ma'am.
And I intentionally want to be involved. So, because it's all of my experiences, I've just had to kind of hold inside. I'm not a bragger or a boaster about my life, but I want to share how you step out on faith, how you muster up enough courage within yourself. When I moved to Paris, France, I didn't know a soul. I took my mother with me, but I sent her back home, and I stayed. She said, "So you don't know anybody over here?" No, I said, "But I'm gonna meet some folks. I'll be all right."
Oh my goodness.
I had some money in my pocket, and the first night that we were in a hotel, we heard music. I said, "Mama, I hear some music." She said, "Me too." We said, "Let's go put our clothes down and go back downstairs to the lounge." And those were the first two musicians that I met. 2 weeks later, one of them went on a trip to Las Vegas, and I took his place.
Divine appointment. It was a divine appointment, you know. I think that's what that's called, a divine appointment is what that was.
Well, you know, you just have to, and you have to believe in yourself. You know, if you ask God for certain things, he will give them to you. But you also need to be worthy. You have to follow his lead. See, a lot of times we think we know the way that we should be going, and we trying to say we try to direct our own traffic. We don't have a clue because we are not in control of anything. You know, so
you be in a ditch somewhere where you done and messed everything up.
Miss Tina, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll be talking next week.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll get everything together. And for everyone, look at the bottom of the screen. That's Goodwill's website address, www.goodwillky.org. It's an organization. Okay. And there's the phone number. Call them Monday morning. Say, when are your programs started? How do I sign up? What do I do? You can find it on their website, or you can call and ask for some information.
And what? Look, I'm taking over. Like you can click.
No.
And don't forget to zoom into the RISE graduation, Miss Janice shared. And I apologize for that link that I don't know what I was doing.
Well, maybe you'll come back on right before the graduation, and we'll do that part again. Yes, it may not be a whole interview, but I'll just have you come back on and do a shout out, and we'll put up the link again so they can, maybe the day before, we might just do a live, me and you, you know, a live thing and put it up so people can see it. Maybe the day before, because that way we can be sure that they remember it's tomorrow. It's not a week away.
Yes, you know, we got a couple of weeks. You are amazing. I love you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you for having me on here. Thank you for your patience and your love. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for all that you do, sister, because you rolling. You're going to blow it up. It's going to be all over the country. Rise.
Yes.
All right.
Speaking into existence. You guys have a great day. Be safe.
Take care, sweetie. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. That's Miss Tina Ashby. Oh, Lord have mercy. She just fills me up with so much joy. I need to hear positive things going on in our community and in our whole society. I mean, I look at the news and my husband told me maybe I need to stop watching so much news. Yeah, because I have been traumatized, you know, and I'm trying to be in control of it. But every time I see mistreatment of our people, it's hurtful. I can't say anything other than that. It's hurtful. And, you know, it makes me not want to live in a place where every time I turn the TV on, I see somebody hurting my folks. It's just a difficult thing. Goodwill. That was Miss Tina Ashby with the RISE program at Goodwill. On Monday, we're going to have Mr. Devon Holt. He's going to give us an overview about everything that's going on with Goodwill. We look forward to that. That should be a very interesting conversation. If you want to know what's happening with Goodwill, what's going to be down in the West, and all of the other programs that they have and their new resource centers, and what they can do for you or somebody that you know, so you can reach out and tell folks, Goodwill can help you get a leg up. Goodwill can help you get a leg up. So that's what it's all about. So now I have to get everything together because, you know, it's dinner time. Guess who's coming to dinner? You can go have your dinner now. Bon appetit. Happy New Year, 2022. Guess who's coming to dinner is back. Here we are. Wanting to wish everyone a happy New Year. You can't see my little, can't see my little starfish. I gotta put my starfish where you can see my starfish because it's a very pretty starfish. I want to say I hope everyone had a safe and enjoyable New Year's, a beautiful Christmas. Got to see family and friends. Stayed masked up, stayed safe. Because, you know, I'm going to give like an overview of 2021 as I manipulate this pen. And and an outlook into 2022. 2021 was full of ups and downs. It was like a roller coaster ride. The variant went from COVID-19 to Delta variant to Omicron. So here we are, numbers rising high in the sky. Some schools, people going back to school, some still doing remote learning, just taking a little extended vacation for the holidays. We had some death. We had Miss Betty White just recently, but along with that, one of my favorite folks, or just a character, John Madden. See, I'm a Raiders fan from way back in the day, of George Atkinson and the man that put all the stickum on his hands, from the Raiders during the time of Marcus Allen and Nehemiah Geraldo. He was a high jump Olympian who became a Raider. That's how glued into the Raiders I had been from back in the day. John Madden was a character and a very memorable one at that. We wish his family and Betty White's family our sincere condolences. And the gentleman that just also recently passed over in South Africa is Desmond Tutu. An iconic spiritual leader who lent his warmth and his compassion to the world to show, I guess, kind of like the essence of the people of Africa after apartheid. That it was not so much of a revenge situation, that he was the intricate part that dealt with a lot of the healing and the transition of power. That's Pulitzer Prize winner Bishop Desmond Tutu. His passing, he will be truly missed. 2021. Well, I told you we moved personally. We moved and still are trying to get things arranged and set up. Don't have much on the wall because this is now the new home of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Apropos, I'm sitting at my dining room table. So eventually I plan to have 2 guests here live in living color having dinner with me. But I thought I was getting close to that point, but with COVID, not too quick to move on. I'd have to have a film crew and lots of people, not a lot of people, but maybe too many people in the house for me right now. So getting that together, I'm still conceptualizing what I want you to see in the presentation of my conversations that I have with people. And my conversations are easy. They're just, to the point, matter of fact. My opinion, their viewpoints. We moved up through 2021. I met some people that I didn't know. I met Faith Owens, young man who's also a community activist, positivity, just dealing with a wealth of positivity that came out of his grief and his sorrow from losing his friends in a car accident. Also met up with a poet laureate from up in northern Kentucky. We had her on this year. And for Christmas, for the holidays, I did a home for the holidays because I know a lot of people that are from Louisville that live in other cities that are doing wonderful things. I had on my nephew, my great nephew,
He's down in Houston, Texas. Dominique, Happy New Year, sweetie. And he's getting his master's in social justice, criminal justice. And he's flourishing in a different environment other than Louisville, Kentucky. And I say to people a lot of times, if your children want to move and try to live in other places, encourage that, because that helps in one's growth, to get a different perspective, because there's a different type of culture that goes on in every city. Every city has its own signature piece that makes it what it is. Atlanta's got what makes it what it is. Atlanta is very socially astute to me. And now Atlanta, I'll get back to, that'll be my part of my 2022. We have to go back to Atlanta because we have to touch base with Miss Stacy. Okay. And what else? 2021. So 2021, we still are dealing with matters in the political realm, talking about critical race theory. All I can say is it happened. You can't get rid of it. You can't erase it. You can't, just because you don't speak about it, doesn't make it not so. That's just because you say it doesn't mean it's so either. I mean, that's saying if you tell a lie, does not make the lie the truth, because you say it, that you will it into fruition, or you put it in the ether, and it takes on a life of its own, which the lie has done for a whole year. It's taken on a life of its own, and our democracy is under attack, totally under attack. So we better wake up, and we need the Senate to get to the passing the civil rights amendment that was taken out as a law for that ruled the nation. I think we need to get that back in there. I think that needs to be first and foremost, because we're getting ready to have elections, and here we go again. So get ready, put your seatbelts on. But we need Democrats to be aggressive and not passive. I'm just saying, that's what time it is. That's where I am. That's my, I'm just saying bit, and I'm sticking to it. 2022. Okay, 2022, here we are, January the 3rd already. Okay, so this month on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, I plan to bring people that I've not had on before. Some people that are doing new things or in new positions in the city that we may know about. Some of us may know about, some of us don't. I'd maybe like to learn a little bit more about who they are, because I don't know all of these new people. We have a new editor over at the Courier Journal. We have a new president and CEO over at the Muhammad Ali Center. We have a new president and CEO at Metro United Way. So those are just a few of the people that I will be inviting to come have a conversation, a dinner conversation with you and I. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to check them out and let them know that we're supported. We need to let them, people that are doing the heavy lifting in the city as far as bringing us information, as far as upholding the name of one of our iconic leaders and role models of the city, Muhammad Ali. We need to be just as vocal and supportive of them as we are of those people whose names we see every day that are out in the forefront. And this show is about finding those people that are not out front all the time, but they're here. They're doing their work. Their voices need to be heard. That's all I want to do is just say, so what's going on with you? What do you see for Louisville? And we're still in the same place in 2022, stuck with no convictions for those who perpetrated the murder against Breonna Taylor. How long does it take? I mean, justice. Just think about it. Justice, we used to say just us. But justice. Young lady still doesn't have justice. Her mother doesn't have peace. They're still walking around doing whatever they want to do. And my sincere condolences to Breonna's mother that she still needs our support. Somebody was trying to call me. They must not know I don't talk on the phone at 7 p.m. on Mondays or Fridays. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to have 2 guests a week or if I'm just going to do 1 guest on Mondays and do a rerun on that Friday. For as long as I have guests twice a week, if I have enough guests, I will do a different show on Mondays and Fridays. If not, I may have a show on Monday and run that same show on that Friday. But it won't be extended any further than that. During the holidays or special times or vacations that I will be taking, so just know that I will have Encore conversations, which is I'll just play repeat shows that I've had. But for 2022, we've got some political races coming up. Here in Louisville, Kentucky, we've got Charles Booker running to defeat Rand Paul. Tall mountain to climb, but hopefully this time he will climb that mountain, and that we have to, that's a heavy push. That's a heavy push. He needs our support. He needs our financial support. And I just want his campaign to know that I am supportive of his candidacy because we need somebody that speaks truth to power. I think Mr. Booker can do that. He had a very good showing against Miss Allison Lundgren, but she just had a head start on him at that point in time. So here we are, 2022. That's Louisville politics. Got a mayoral race. Got a mayoral race that, which will disenfranchise the Black vote. To some extent, I do believe, because we're running against each other. We have to. I was hoping that the city could be more unified than we are. I look for ways to make that happen, and I do my part on this show to just speak on that this city, we need to speak with one voice, if at all possible, but in order to make things happen, because when we're divided up, other people can take control of our narrative. And that's not what we want. We have to control our own narrative, control our own destinies, control what we see that's most beneficial to us for our standard of living. So, these are things that we have to keep in our minds, in our day-to-day activities as we go about our lives, just what kind of life are we living? Are we standing behind the curtains looking out and not saying anything? Or are we stepping out on faith and being a part of the solution? Not just always talking about that we have a problem, but actually trying to get involved somewhere to fit in so your voice can be heard. Because everybody's voice matters, especially if you live here. So I'm going to ask everybody just to be supportive of Mr. Charles Booker. In the mayoral race, I have not a clue. I have not a clue, because I don't see why they're running against each other in the first place. There's 6,000 votes. They're going to split them up. Not just them two getting 3 and 3. But then there's another third. Mr. Greenberg has constituency that's got him positioned to maybe even take a third. And if you don't get 51% of the vote during the primaries, which is in May, okay, then you won't be able to, you have no leverage for the general. So it's, I think it's kind of sad, because I think Louisville was we're on the fence. We fall to the right, we're a little backwards. We fall to the left, we could be very progressive, because we got folks in this city doing things. I want to give a shout out to Butch Mosby. And I think it's the brother that owns, I don't know all their names, the brother that owns Club Cedar and the brother that owns the Palm Room, that they joined forces. Check this out. Butch Mosby owned the name Joe's Palm Room because he is a supporter to carry on the legacy of Joe Hammond. Okay. But these 3 young gentlemen have come together to take Joe Hammond's name and put it back on the Palm Room. Now, you know that's going some. I think that's all of that in the bag of chips. I mean, that's when you see us being progressive. Those are progressive thinkers. They sat down and put that together. This brother said, I own the name. This brother says, I have the club, the venue. The venue is mine. Another brother says, I just want to be a part of it and make it happen, because it's our history. And Joe Hammond's had a wonderful history of being a businessman and a leader in our community that people looked up to. I mean, I remember when, I didn't go at that time, but I remember when Joe's Palm Room was on 13th and Magazine. It was a mainstay kind of in my home, that this was where my mother went for her entertainment and her socialization, until I got old enough to say, I like Joe's too. And so can I go, and would you mind? So we made a pact that we would meet when I was here teaching school, that we would meet on a Friday, and we'd go to matinee at 5. When matinee was over, my mother would go home, and then I would stay for the later part. So that was our agreement, so that she wouldn't feel like I was running her off from her place where her friends were still going, and she still enjoyed going. So I say kudos to Butch Mosby and the owner of the Palm Room now, Joe's Palm Room. It's back. Hey, 2022. Now that's something. That's a chess move. That's a power move. That's a paying tribute to this gentleman that was a part of our community for years, and added to the substance and the growth of the business community in Louisville, Kentucky. What can you say? Who else did I talk to this year? I talked to Home for the Holidays. I spoke with Dr. Reverend Robert Buggs Wilkins out in the Bay Area. We had a lovely conversation. The conversation was long, but we touched on a little bit of everything, of friendships, where we were born, where we went to school, our intellectual savvy, our growth in the areas of expertise that he went into the ministry and my stint in show business. So two friends that just really kind of respect each other for years and years and have been the best of friends, even though, we don't see each other or do we talk on a regular basis, but just it's felt like yesterday when we had the conversation. I also had a conversation with Bruce Johnson, who's going to be coming through Louisville. I think he said February. Now, Bruce has his book is out. You can get his book. It's on Amazon. Let me just do this real quick because I meant to do this, but I didn't. So what I'm trying to do is see where we're going to be, because I want everybody from Kentucky State, or they went to Shawnee, or they just knows Bruce Johnson. Now, Bruce Johnson has retired now, but he had been an anchor on WUSA in DC for the past 25, 30 years. Okay, so that's where Bruce, his adult life and building his family and raising his children, that's where he was. So he's coming to Louisville, and I plan to be a part of his book signing event. I've asked permission, so he's going to have to put me in touch with his people so we can see if we can work that out. So I can make sure that you're a part of it too, because it's something cool to see that's the wrong one. To see our Louisvillians that are moving and shaking, making things happen. And Bruce Johnson is one of them. It was a delightful conversation with Bruce, because, you never know how many similarities you have with somebody, or their outlooks or their perspectives. His time at Kentucky State seemed to be as vibrant and as positive as most people that I know that went to Kentucky State. I've never heard anybody say that they didn't have a positive experience going to Kentucky State. This is my 50th class reunion coming up from Kentucky State this year, class of 72. Whoop, whoop, whoa. Now that's something. So what I wanted to do is, I still want to tell you, I need to find a way to put this on. His book is called Surviving Deep Waters. And it's a Simon & Schuster publication. So you should be able to find it on on Amazon. I'm going to put the name of the book up so that you can see. What am I doing? That's wrong. I'm trying to. All right. Surviving Deep Waters. All right. So, and I still plan to go down to Roots 101 and do a tour. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. I guess they're still up. They had some voting going on for it to be one of the top 10 places to visit in the country. And Lamont Collins and the hard work that he's done and put in to Roots 101 was on that list. And rightly so. It's beautiful. You go into each room and you go through like you're walking through a time capsule, but you being born and raised here, you can feel each era of time as you navigate the rooms downstairs to upstairs. And in Mom Nim's area, Mom and Nim's living room, I think it is, something like that. But I think it's lovely, absolutely lovely. But I'm still here hoping that if you've got some suggestions, feel free to send me a post to Jantastic Productions or put it on my personal page, Janice Carter. I was on Facebook before I got married, so I just left it like it is. It's Janice Carter. And let's see if we can do this. You know, we've got to divide amongst us. So let's see if we can close the gap amongst us, because that's where everything will start. Everything has to start with us. Like FUBU, everything will start with us, for us, and by us to help us. How about that? So I hope you'll join me on, it's not this Friday. I'll have somebody this Friday. I just haven't, I got to do my scheduling. I'm a little behind, but I'll catch up. On Monday, we have a gentleman. His name is Derek Vitto. And Mr. Vitto is coming to Louisville to produce a film about a documentary on the Black perspective of Derby. You know, white folks have their Derby and Black folks have their Derby in Louisville. And so this aspect of the Derby has never been captured or focused in on, really. I guess no one felt a need to. But this gentleman seems to have kind of corralled a Lexington constituency and a Louisville following to help him make this happen. And so we're going to have him on the 10th of January. 10th of January, I think that's exactly what it is, January. And he's going to tell us about the movie. You know, so there'll be some parts for some extra work. You know, a lot of people want to be a part of something that's historic about our city. That's when we can do it. I'll let you know when it's coming up, what's going to happen. So on that note, I did not want to not have a show today, even though I didn't have a guest. I wanted to do an overview of last year and an outlook for this year. And let you know, give you my sentiments for the new year, that I'm wishing everyone a very happy new year. Stay safe, be well. And on that note, guess who's coming to dinner? It's dinner time. Bon appetit. I'll see you on Friday. Take care.